right, all right. We are in, and God is good. I'm so glad to be able to be in. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good night to you. Some of you in a different time zone. Good evening, beautiful people of mine across the Caribbean, United States, and around the world. Welcome to another powerful edition of Forefront today. And it's Ciara 365 on YouTube, you know that, and my Facebook page where we spotlight purpose, perseverance, faith, community impact, and transformational stories. I'm your host, DJ Quinn. Also, you know me as the matured mixer. My real name, RC Harlequin. Tonight we are honored to welcome a woman whose testimony reflects resilience, faith, entrepreneurship, media excellence, and kingdom purpose. She's also a personality, a radio personality, I would say, an entrepreneur, a motivational voice, a community builder, a wife, a mother, a visionary, and the founder of was that Polyad was
Us.
that
Pollyanna Project.
Polyana project, but this is Positive Radio
Positive.
106.9 FM. And so,
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the one and only, we call her affectionately Auntie Donna herself, Miss Donna Moore Stewart. Welcome
Thank you.
into the forefront today.
Thank you for having me on your platform, DJ Queen. I'm
I'm
humbled to be in your presence, my friend. Thank you. And let me greet your audience as well. And this promises to be one testimonial
yeah,
afternoon tonight to give
that's
God
right.
all the glory and praise for where He has brought us from.
You are so modest. I think when I see you next time, I'm gonna have me $1,000 bill and have you autograph it. Okay, you are too modest.
Oh God, oh
Yeah.
God.
Listen, I
Yes.
must apologize. We were supposed to start at 7 p.m., but today
Mhm.
is the celebration for Ghana's 60th independence. My home
Yes.
country and my Jamaican friends and all the folks from the Caribbean diaspora were out there and they didn't want to let me leave. So I had to stay there and get some pictures with them. So my apologies to you, audience, for coming in so late. Forgive my tardiness. I don't normally keep my guests waiting. But Auntie Dana, so glad to have you with us tonight. So welcome once again to Forefront today. And how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling splendid. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling blessed tonight.
Yes.
God
Yes.
is a good God, and each moment He give us to breathe His precious air, it's a good day.
Yes. Yes. We have to be grateful. Many people know you as Auntie Donna, the broadcaster. But who is Donna Moore Stewart beyond the microphone?
Oh, wow. That's my husband would say, I'm glad you asked, and that's a big
That's
question.
a big question.
Such a huge question, right? I think I lost DJ Quinn, so I'll allow him to come back in. Let me
No,
continue
I'm
to.
here. I'm here. I'm just
You're
gonna let
here?
you
All
hold the
right,
screen. I'm
great.
just let you
All
take the screen
right.
for yourself.
Yes. No, no, okay. So I was born and raised in Jamaica. My mom grew us up as a single mom, and I am the oldest of five siblings at that time, and we there were six of us, but we'll get to that if the interview allows. And so I grew up on survival, if you may, helping my mom to navigate life through the ghettos of Jamaica. I went to a Trenchtown primary school, coming from the garrison, and and during the 80s, my mom relocated and she went to another area of Jamaica, Old Harbor, where we relocate there. I'm hearing music in the background.
Yeah. Let me see if I make it come down a little bit low for you. I won't
Right.
distract you.
Yes,
Sure. All right. How is that?
that is good. Right.
Good.
And if you can turn it down off, it's okay with me. Yeah. Thank you a little bit. Yeah. So this is my humble beginning where it's survival, taking care of my siblings. My mom, as the oldest child, growing up in the Caribbean, we must help our parents
Mm.
so that we can survive. And so by the age of 5, I was babysitting a 3-year old and a baby at the age of
Wow.
5. By the time I reached 9 years old, I was babysitting a 7-year old, a 5-year old, and now a baby, right? So that life sort of molded me into who I am, being the caregiver that I am to so many people now. So that is the foundation of who Auntie Donna is.
I love that. I love that. We all come from various foundation, but growing up in Kingston, Jamaica, what lessons have you learned from a childhood that still live inside you today?
You know, the interesting thing about those years in Kingston is when you grow up just on survival, you can't remember. So I have learned survival skills.
Mm.
When you, I've learned survival skill, how to fend for myself and how to navigate systems and whatever the climate or the community has. It was really a survival skill. That is what I learned.
Mm. But what I feel you also learn, and you could expound on it some more, your leadership skills. You being that second in the sixth sibling, and the oldest girl often comes with some kind of responsibility, like you mentioned. Is that where you got your leadership skills? Uh, uh,
Definitely.
Teach us about your leadership and the sacrifice you made as a leader growing up so young.
Okay. Well, as the oldest, it seems, and interestingly, DJ Quinn, it seems like things are just sort of coming together to me now in this my late life.
Mm.
Uh, I was oldest or possibly the smartest, and this is how I am putting it together. Because
Mm.
why would parents entrust their children into my hands? At the
Right.
age of, I was taking care of my sister who was 2 years younger than me, then a baby, and then another baby. Not only that, during we lived in a tenement yard in Jamaica,
Mm.
and I was taking care of other children in the yard. Donna, look after this one, look out for this one. So it was always Donna taking care of everyone else.
Mm.
And that is where the leadership skill come. And as much as we could say that, when you entrust such leadership responsibility on a child at a young age, I lost my childhood.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
lost my childhood. And so I'm just trying to live it. I constantly live in a childhood state every day. You know what I mean? Because I'm reclaiming everything that the devil stole from me, including my childhood.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
imagine you didn't get chance to go out and play Litty and Saul Pass and all those nice games we played.
No, not at all. My mom was strict. My mom was strict, and I would get a good whooping. When I said
Mm,
good whooping, even to the point when most of the time those whooping came when I did not even know what I was getting whooped for,
mm. It's
right?
like a proactive whooping. Like if you like just like a pardon before something happened, huh? Something like
Exact,
that.
exactly. And then as the oldest one, you would have the younger siblings going to your parents, telling your parents lies.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because you're the oldest one, you're getting the beating because you should know better.
Right.
Not even realizing that I'm a child myself. I don't know better. I'm a child myself.
Mm,
But I
yeah,
do not despise those humble beginnings.
yeah, yeah,
I, I, I take every moment of it to navigate my life to this point,
yeah,
every
yeah.
single moment of it.
I think that's remarkable, though. But you mentioned pedaling and helping your mom survive difficult season. Did hardship, you think, build your strength, or your compassion more, or your empathy more? I want to get into those things. Your compassion and I know leadership is a strength, right? And those are some
Oh,
strong, soft skills. But let's talk about your compassion and your empathy some more.
okay. Of course, as a caregiver, as a child caregiver, we must embody everything. We must take care of the younger one. We have to I had to cook, I had to clean, I had to take care. And when I say take care of everything, because my mom was a hustler, meaning she would peddle on the streets of Kingston, wherever. And then it life became harder when we left Kingston and relocated to Old Harbor in St.
Mm,
Catherine.
okay.
Extremely hard.
Mm,
Um, because we left from the city life and now we had to go into a rural life. It's
mm,
dark nights. We're used to lights on stick in
mm,
Kingston. We're not used to that. We're used to having shower coming from above.
mm,
Now, now we our bathrooms or our pit toilet or a latrine is
mm,
outside. Our bathroom was a zinc fence sort of a thing. And as
mm.
girls, you lost everything. Regardless of what people may say, but you have to take a quick shower and run in as a girl. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so it became very hard. And my mom had to become a farmer, and she
Mm,
started to farm the land. She started to farm the land. She would plant quick crops, callaloo, okra, and it was a turnaround. So we would have to go, meaning my other sister, the one that follows me, and I had to go to the market every Saturday morning
mm,
to sell. So we go to school,
mm,
no time for anything. On Friday evening, we have to pick the crops, get them ready to leave out early on a Saturday morning to go to the market.
mm,
So and not knowing these were skills that the Lord was building into me, the
mm, mm,
sales skills. Because I would sell my okra and my stuff them off real quick. I was like, lady, 6 cents a dozen. You want okra?
mm,
Come,
mm,
6 cents. That this is a long time I'm talking to you about. So people skill, I developed that. People
mm,
tend to like me a lot, you know, and so those are some of the things. And we did not, as I said, we did not have a father who was taking care of us. So when we go to the market, it was to sustain us for the week.
mm.
So and sustain us meaning have to buy our feminine products, and it has to take us school lunch or fare to school for the week. We're talking about 10-year-old, 14-year-old girl. That is
Mm,
what
mm.
I used to do.
You know,
So
Auntie
it
Dana.
builds, yes,
Yeah, you were saying that bills. Go ahead. I'll let you finish that
yeah.
because.
So it builds. I have no choice. I have no choice. It's
Mm,
survival. I cannot die in this. But one thing I know that even though I was going through that, I never looked like it. I never
mm,
expressed it on my face going to school. Because
mm,
years later, my teacher, when I told my teacher, she said, "But you did not look like you need help."
mm,
While I was going to school hungry
mm,
almost every day, but I wasn't staying home because I would rather to be hungry in the classroom than stay at home and be hungry too. You know what I
mm.
mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's how I built all of this. And because, and you ask, where did that come from, that empathy come from? I do not want anyone, if I can help it, to go
Mm,
through what I went through.
yeah, yeah.
It was not a good feeling.
Mm,
On a September when it was time to go back to school, my mom couldn't afford to give me uniforms for September. Everyone was wearing new stuff. I had to wear my friends' hand me down clothes
mm,
from the previous year. So it causes me to, like, I don't want children to go through what I go through. If I can do something to help, I will help.
mm. Auntie Dana, I'm smiling because if my siblings are on the live and listening to this, they'll be saying, Cleveland, that's your story. That is
Mhm.
part of your story. You and I
Yeah.
have a whole lot of that in common.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why I like storytelling because it makes me go back into me. A lot of people see your hands now nice and soft and your face is nice and moist and they think that you grew up with a gold spoon in your mouth. But just like you, I had 10 siblings and my mom was a peddler in haberdashery. And at
Um,
11, 12 years old, I sold in all the markets you can think about in Guyana, South America. I had my own piece of plot of land, planting my pigeon peas and okra and whatever, corn or
wow.
whatever. I know
Wow.
about the back dams. I know about the meat bar, the white fowl, the Creole fowl, raising them, the pigs, and all that stuff we had. And so, just like you, we moved from the city and we moved into the country area, and then the folks thought we were too holy and mighty because of our accent, and so we had to adjust into the country language and all that good stuff. So I feel you. I feel you. I can visualize you growing up because a lot of times folks don't want to hear about where you come from, and but that's just why this is why I like storytelling
Yes.
as we can go beyond the looks that we present on camera and the presentation we make at these various UN environment, and people must know that we come from somewhere.
Come
We
on.
know the sacrifice. We were built for this, right? We come from good parenting, and our
Yes.
leadership skills emanate from somewhere else. But
Sure.
looking back, Auntie Dana, looking back, would you change anything about your upbringing?
No, no, because I'm happy where I am today.
Hmm.
I've thought about this question. No, I would not, because even when the times were hard, even when I there were times when I could not find my way, God was always there.
Yeah. Mm.
He always in every step of the way. I could have gone to the market and not sell anything, right?
Yeah. Favor was with you
Come on.
even since
But
then.
but I sell off my things them and then I have to find my sister and I said, let me help you sell. That is
Mm.
favor, right?
And Auntie
Um
Dana, my sister used to like to take me with her because I get the things sell out faster. You
see?
know, we go into the Indian area, down the streets of Linden, Retrieve,
Yes,
Wismar, and Bath Settlement, and all those areas where people don't want to go sell. And
exactly.
because of, I guess, charisma, influence, I don't know, I didn't even know what it was at the time,
And we
but
did
we
not
never
know.
took back stuff home. We got it
Ex-
sold out.
Exactly, exactly.
Mm.
And while, as I mentioned, that I went to high school, and during my high school year, it really and truly was hard. Um, you know, and I grew up with a very strict mother. Her name is Miss Polly. She does the Pollyanna Project, but
Oh, Miss Polly, okay.
yes, she was strict. Uh, so I would dream a lot.
Mm.
With each tough times I had, with each hard time that I had, I would say one day, one day, one day, one day,
Mm.
and I would sit on the front veranda, they would call it, a little piece of broke down veranda, and I would stare in the sky. This is something I still do. At my
Mm.
age, I still look up in the sky when I'm by myself. And I said, one day, I'm going to be somebody.
Mm.
One day, I'm going to be someone. Because we did not have an uncle, we did not have aunts, we did not have anyone growing up except
Mm.
us.
Right.
So that village situation that most persons are used to,
Mm.
it wasn't rare, but God would have someone there at all times
Mm.
to step in. Even on the weekends, there were times when I used to leave my mom house after school on a Friday and go to a surrogate mom house. She did not have a daughter, DJ Quinn, and I was the one that washed, cook, and clean for the weekend. That was
Mm.
how I would get my lunch money too.
Wow. Mm. Mm. Mm.
She was my rescuer when things got tough at my biological home, because it does get tough. When your mom can't feed you, and not only you, when she's looking at five mouths to feed,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does get tough.
Mm,
And I would leave on weekend when it gets tough, I would get a beating and I'm running away. But I thank God each time I run away, it was to a safe home.
mm,
And when I go to that safe home, now I become Cinderella because she didn't have a daughter. In order to stay there, I had to cook, I had to clean. She has a son, and he's my brother to this day.
mm,
And I had to make his breakfast, and her father was alive, and I had to make their breakfast, cook for them, and go to school.
mm,
While no one at school knew what I was going through.
mm. I gotta ask you, Auntie Dana, because I had to sell my crops to pay my way to school. And I said pay my way to buy my bus ticket, buy my bus contract for the month. I mean, I had my own money to
Mhm.
throw my own box back in those days. I don't know if you know, but Susu, you
Yes,
know,
partner. Yes, we
yeah,
call it partner. Yeah.
I had my own money because I sold my pigeon peas, my okra, my coconuts. I made my own broom. I collected fruits from the people tree in the village and
Yes.
sold my mangoes. Not all of it was ours. As children, we walked and picked up mangoes and dungs and whatever fruits we find and sell.
Yes.
But I had to buy my own contract ticket. And I remember back in those days, there was barter stores. And I couldn't afford Dunlop like my friends, the Dunlop, the nice white Dunlop and
What
stuff
is
like that.
Dunlop? Because remember, I'm Jamaica.
Well, Dunlop is a sneaker.
Oh,
It's still
okay.
available today. It's a green
Okay.
and white, expensive. Back in the day, it was very expensive. So I
Hmm.
had to settle for the Pro Dragon. I don't know if you know, but the Bata shoe store back in those days.
Yes.
But Pro Dragon was, it has some nice rubber to the front and to the back. But when the sun comes up, your toe feel the heat.
Ah,
But yeah, I had to settle for that. We called it the concrete boots back in those
yes.
days. But you had to settle for that. And then, like you, we got some stuff come from overseas. People send barrel in and they sold
Mhm.
secondhand clothing and different things. People peddle items through the village. My mom would exchange her jewelry and collect clothing, pants length and kickers and these kind of things. So that's why we got some clothes in the village. I'm telling you. So you are talking my story. You are talking my story. So we got things in common.
Yeah, I
And
was just about to say we have more in common than not.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that is the reason why we ought to speak to each other, talk to each other. Then we realize that we have the same story. But because most persons are ashamed, they are ashamed to say, I was there. I
right.
am not ashamed to tell you um, how the Lord, because I give credit to the Lord in everything that I
Mm,
do, because it was His grooming, His spiritual grooming that can prepared me for every step of the way.
yeah, yeah.
Listen to me. I mentioned my surrogate mom that I would go to when it was time for taking your CHC back then. I
Mm,
didn't have the money, and I said to her, the morning off that I need to take my exams, I did not know how to go to speak. I did not have a voice to defend myself, and that is
mm,
one of the things that children are persons who raise older kids or their younger kids lose their voice. Some of us lose our voice,
mm. Talk about that.
and you know about that, right? Uh,
Mm,
we're not afraid to. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed to ask for things, you know. But I remember on that morning, I said I'm doing the CXC exam and it costs X amount, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I remember she gave me at that time it was 250 Jamaican dollars, and remember this is years ago. I'm talking about.
mm,
And even $250 was not enough to cover the four subjects that I wanted to take.
mm-hmm,
And I went to school, and thank God for my principal at that time. God rest his soul, Mr. Guy Jobson. And he called me and he said, Donna, what's the matter? He could see through me. And I said, I don't have enough money for my exams. And that man put the balance so I was able to take only four I could afford. And I took
Mm-hmm.
four and I was successful at the four. So each step of the way, there was always a ram in the bush.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Bless you,
safe
God.
home was my surrogate mom, and
Mm-hmm.
there's always a ram in the bush. And those subjects that I passed, they were good enough for me to be employed right out of high school.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's talk about high school, though. How did Old Harbor High School and Excelsior Community College shape your confidence and your worldview?
Um, Old Harbor High School, I told you I grew up on survival. I I went to school surviving, DJ Queen. Because if you ask me about friends or teachers, I am not the person to tell you. I don't remember.
Mm.
I don't remember. And so I know I had to learn because it's the only way out of my poverty, the life that I was living. I
Mm.
did not want to fall into you're gonna, by this, some of my friends were getting pregnant and having babies and dropping out of high school. And I try my best that that is not going to happen to me. I'm not going to, so going to school was to prove to the naysayers that I am not going to drop out of school, have baby, and that's the end of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So school now become my place of rescue from whatever I was enduring at home,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So to remember certain elements of high school, I really and truly don't know. And
Mm.
then I have to, oh, you will hear me always come back to say, it got to be the grace of God.
Mm-hmm.
It got to
Mm-hmm.
be the grace of God because there is no explanation that I can give you,
Mm.
right? So in that environment of the whole of our high school, I did good. I really and truly, I was a good girl going to school. I had my
Mm.
shares of high school challenges, but when I got it together, I finally got it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I left out of high school and went straight to work in a funeral home, and that's where it becomes something else, right?
Uh-oh.
Oh yes, because the four subject that I passed, they were all administrative subjects:
Okay.
typing,
Mm.
office procedures, English, and math. So I could type 90 words per minute at the age of 17, 18. Back
Wow.
then. That was
Not like
fast.
not like me at all. I'd be picking, picking, picking. Mm.
Right. So with that skill set and that I was easily employed as a clerk typist, administrative assistant now, straight out of high school,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the interesting thing was when all of my friends were getting job in banks because they could afford to pay for more subjects and they were into bank, they got in nicer offices. I was going to work at a funeral home. That was not the idea for a pretty young girl, but I
Mm.
accepted it because I have no choice.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
had no choice.
Mm.
And that that tenacity, my tenacious spirit, is what caused me to just freely get a visa to come to United States of America.
Pum pum. Yeah.
You know, um, so this is how I keep going back. It got to be God.
Got to be God.
It got to be God
Mm.
because there was one evening at the office and it was about 5:30 and everyone wanted to go home and I saw this gentleman came and there was an accident, a major accident in Kingston, and a US citizen died. It was a Thursday evening and a US citizen had died and no one wanted to stay back to help the man. It was a white man. They didn't know who he was. But I
Mm.
said, I'll help you. In the market, something come, the market attitude come out, good customer service. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
I will help you. And DJ Quinn, the deceased had to be back in the States on Saturday. So this was Thursday night, had to be embalmed, the document had to go on, and the body must reach the United States by Saturday morning for burial.
Mm.
It was done, was executed. I remember this man come to my house with the clothing for the deceased. And if you're asking me the man name, I don't even remember his name.
Wow.
Don't remember his name. But upon the completion of the process, he looked at me and said, "What can I do for you?"
Mm.
That's it. And all I said was, "I would love to go to your country." And he said,
Wow.
"Let me have your passport." And back then in the 80s, indefinite multiples is like,
Mm.
as a young girl. So there go God again. Orchestrate where I am today, DJ.
Yeah, yeah, that's remarkable.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I would not have been here hadn't I gone through everything that I've gone through.
Mm. Now you got several but God moments, and people who've been through it will know what we're talking about when we say but God. If it wasn't for the Lord, but God. But you once said also, the life lived until 18 prepared me for the challenges life tossed at me. Can you unpack that statement for us tonight a little bit more? Because I want to dig deep. I don't want you to. I don't want to come back to this because I think there's a whole lot of you in that teenage years that really shape you, fashion you to become who this Auntie Dana is.
Okay. Well, there's so much but God moment because I remember right after high school, teenage years you're talking about, my mom just did not know what to do with me, right?
Mm,
She could not send me to a tertiary institution. I wanted to go to Duff's Business College based upon the subjects that I passed, but there was no money to send
mm,
me to further my education. So that's how comes I had to go and work again, right?
mm,
And because of that, I always know that I have to fend for myself. You know what I mean?
mm.
I have to fend for myself. And I got the job, and then I have to take care of my now I'm taking care of my mother and my siblings again.
Mm,
You know, so it was a cycle, and the cycle remained for a
mm,
very long time,
mm.
possibly up until her death 30 years ago.
Oh, my condolences still for that. But was
Yes.
there a defining moment in Jamaica, Auntie Dana, that made you realize that you were destined for more? I know you just said that. Look, one day. Whether it was that time in your life that you could say, this is I'm taking this now, but I know I'm destined for more, and that to the extent that you know you couldn't stay in Jamaica.
It's not that I know I couldn't stay in Jamaica, DJ Queen, because even when I was in Jamaica, I was still trying to hustle my way. I
Mm,
would, before I get to come to the US, I was going to small islands to do peddling. We call it higgling. But
mm.
even though I have a job, I was doing side hustles
We,
as
we
well.
call that trader. You were a trader back in Ghana. We call you a
Exactly.
trader. All
But
right.
before I'm going to cut you because I have to step out of the room for about 3 minutes. Can you
Okay.
talk to the audience for me and give me 3 minutes, DJ Quinn?
Sure thing,
Yes.
sure thing. I'm talking to Auntie Donna. She is Miss Donna Morris Stewart. She's an entrepreneur and she hails from Jamaica, West Indies. Definitely a wonderful lady. She is running a nonprofit organization, the Pollyanna Project, that you could be part of. I know some of you got money hidden under your step in the South Spawn. Some of you got it in the attic. It's just building up there. You can definitely find a good reason to support her organization. She goes all over the world and support communities in need. So please find it in your heart to support her cause. She has an event every year, a staple event that I go to, and you can definitely donate by buying tickets. You can fill a whole table of 10, and that could be a donation. So it is tracked. It's a 501c3 organization. So if you definitely want a place to render your services, you want to consider, and she'll tell you more of her organization, the Pollyanna Project. But if you have any questions to I hope you would drop it in the chat. I'm already seeing some folks who are coming on in, and I'm grateful for your presence so far. So far, I'm seeing my wonderful people like Cheryl and Georgetown, Jesse Yandel, and to you, Kizzy Hines is in. Good night to you, Elder Roxanne McFarlane. I believe you. That's who you are. Chevron Lashley is my cuz. Hello to you, Lynette Pierre, and to you, Diane Allen, and to you, Kelly Harlequin. Good night to all of you who coming on. And I know some folks are listening incognito, silent listeners, and would put something in the chat. Some of you on YouTube. I'm not able to see that quite yet. Let me see what's happening on YouTube. Somebody said hallelujah, hallelujah. And I see Kirk Ivan. Good night to you. And all of those of you who are sharing the broadcast, I appreciate you doing that. Definitely her story needs to be told around the world. And many of your stories, because this is about storytelling right here on CRL 365 and on my Facebook page. So welcome back once again to Forefront today. Auntie Dana, thank you so much for
Yes.
coming back.
Thank you very much for the time.
Awesome, awesome. And so we were talking about you, and this is all about you. Every once in a while, you put me back into my space growing up, and so I'm glad I'm here to conduct storytelling right here on Forefront today. And so we were talking about your high school and all of that, and so I don't want to stay there too long because you said some things you don't want, you don't even remember, and
Right.
sometimes but for your own good, you want to lock some things away and leave it there. Uh,
That's
and so, but what role did faith play in your upbringing, you would say? I know you said,
um
what God?
yeah, but I there wasn't anything about faith. My mom was not a religious person. We did not
Mm,
grow up in church. I know there was a God. I know that there is a God. And some things that happened to me even before I've accepted Jesus Christ, it got to be God because there is no explanation for it. So
mm,
you could say that he has been calling me from my youth, but I did not answer. We
mm,
could look at it that way because it was him all along. It is still him to this day,
mm.
right? But let me quickly run back to when I got my visa. And when the man gave me the visa, when I went to the embassy and picked it up, he looked at me and he said, Donna, I want you to do great things in the world.
Mm,
Do not mess this visa up. And I'm
mm,
holding my hand the way he was giving me my
mm.
passport. He said, do not mess it up. Because this was people who was coming to America, run off and all of that.
Yeah,
But to
yeah.
this day, his voice is still in my ears, and I never did. But he said, I
Mm,
want you to be great in the world. I did not know. I am surviving. I
mm,
did not know anything, right? So I came to America and I still now had to take care of my family back home. It never stopped, BJ.
yeah,
You know the rule. We
yeah.
share these stories. It never
Mm,
stops. And
mm,
I remember when I first came here, and these are defining moments when I realized that if it's not working out for me, it is not for me.
mm,
And when I came first, and I was encouraged, stay in America and don't go back. And I said, I can't do that.
mm.
And I remember I tried it. Back then, you could try a 6 months and you'll be okay. And then I
Right.
realized this is not for me.
Mm,
I can tell you what I don't like. I can't tell you I can tell you what I don't want. I can't tell you what I want. Does that make
mm.
sense?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
I
I'm getting
don't
it.
know what I want, but I
Mm,
know what I don't
don't
want,
want. Okay.
right? If it's not adding up for me, I am not going to go there. I'm not going to accept it. It's not for me. But
Mm,
if you said I can't write, I don't have a vision. Everything else, I'm just moving through life,
mm,
just moving through life. And I remember when I came to this country and, some family members want me to stay. And I said, no. And I
mm,
went back to Jamaica and I went to cosmetology school
mm,
because now I I don't want to work for anyone. I want to work for myself.
Yeah. The
So,
entrepreneur is coming out of you.
yes. So,
Mm.
right. So now I left my job in Jamaica. Unemployed. So I said, okay, I have this opportunity. What job can I do in America that will allow me to work for 4 months at a time, go back home so I don't mess this visa up,
Mm.
right? And I went back to Jamaica and I stayed for 8 months, 9 months to do the cosmetologist um, um,
Glasses.
classes. And
Mm.
once I was able to be employed, I migrated from Jamaica in 89.
Mm.
And
Wow.
yes, so I don't know. I know what I don't want, but I don't
Mm.
know what I want.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
All right. I'll let that sink into me later on. But Auntie Dana,
Yes.
Jamaica has produced resilient people globally. What do you think Jamaica gives its children emotionally and spiritually?
Uh, I really and truly can't even add to that to say what Jamaica gives. It's not what Jamaica gives. It's what you take from Jamaica for me,
Okay.
right? It's what you take. What can you do with Jamaica?
Mm.
What can you do? Because if you sit there waiting for Jamaica to do something or hand you something, it's not going to happen. Or
Mm.
you'll have to take that into all your entire lives.
Mm.
There's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, I take. I just continue working and
Mm.
know that work is what will get me to my next level.
Mm. And what would young Donna say to the successful Auntie Donna sitting here today?
Girl, you should have talk up some more.
Mm.
Girl, what make you keep quiet so long?
Mm.
Girl, what make you never trust your instinct? That's what
Yeah.
my this girl will tell younger one.
Wow. And then would there be a conversation, or this Auntie Dana would say, this young Dana, what would she, what do you think would be her response? The young
Um,
Dana.
I was afraid.
Mm.
I didn't want to hurt anyone's feeling.
Mm.
I didn't want to get anyone in trouble.
Mm.
I was afraid.
Mm.
That would be a response. And in fact, to this day, I still have some of that in me. I I try not to speak up to get people in trouble
Mm.
because yeah, some of that even to my detriment.
Are you a people pleaser, Auntie Dana?
I think I was. I'm learning to get out of it. Yes,
Mm.
I'm learning. I've learned some hard lessons that prepare me for now.
Mm. Let's go to immigration as we move along. I'm talking to Auntie Donna, affectionately called Auntie Donna. Her real name is Donna Morse Stewart from Jamaica, West Indies. She is an entrepreneur in a whole host of things, and she'll tell you about that some more. But Auntie Donna, many immigrants come to the U.S. with dreams but face culture shock. What was your reality when you came? You said you think it wasn't going to work for you. What was your culture shock?
Um, I don't know. I can't say I have a culture shock. Whilst living in Jamaica, I think I was living the life that most people were living here in America.
Okay.
I did not leave Jamaica. I When I left Jamaica, I was living in a three-bedroom house by myself as a young girl. I could
Mm.
drive. I got these things in life early. I wanted to drive because I realized driving is what would get me to someplace faster. So
Mm.
I did not leave Jamaica unprepared. I come to this country prepared.
Mm.
The culture shock, which if you may, it's the fact that persons would not help persons to
Mm.
get ahead.
Okay.
So now I had to learn to navigate these spaces. I had to learn to go out and fend for myself, but I was not afraid.
Okay. So at one point you went back and then you studied and all that, but did you ever feel discouraged or like giving up? I mean, after you would have come back and settled in the US?
Giving up was never an option, even now. Giving up does
Hmm.
not exist in my vocabulary.
Oh, oh. I beg your pardon, Auntie Donna. I beg your pardon. Giving up was
Um,
never an option for you. You
no.
became a licensed cosmetologist, a beauty salon owner, a
Yes.
skincare consultant, a real
Yes.
estate sales agent, a
Yes.
songwriter, an
Yes.
executive producer. Where
Yes.
does that entrepreneurship come from? I mean, where does I mean, tell us. There's a whole lot to put in a
It
hat.
is a whole lot. And so, as I told you, so when I came to this country, the culture was you go where you go and babysit, and you're stuck in the babysitting thing. I
Okay.
know that that's not what I want. I could dream, but I know that's not what I want. And then I went back home, and then I came and I start when I decided that okay, I'm going to live in America now, and I stayed with a family member. And I remember I was doing the living job for a while, and even while I was doing that, I said this is not for me because the
Mm,
little girl that I was taking care of when I was one afternoon, she ran out of my aunt DJ Quinn,
mm.
and she almost got hit by a car.
Oh my word! I know
That
some of those
was
stories.
enough. That was
Mm,
enough to send me packing.
mm.
And I said, I can't do this. What if a child died on my watch?
Yeah.
I don't think I could survive that. So I remember that weekend. That weekend, I bought the paper, the New York Times or one of
Mm,
those papers back then, and I went through the classified, and
mm,
I went to the classified. Before that, I remember coming home on the weekend, and I saw all of my clothes packed up in those brown boxes in the
mm.
hallway. So
Okay.
they're telling me now it's time to move out, right?
Mm,
Well, that weekend when I saw that, I got the paper and I went through the classified and I started calling up these hair salons place and tell them I want to come into work. And I remember the lady said, "Can you come on a Tuesday for an interview?" And I went in and I aced the interview. I got hired
mm.
right on spot. That very week, my aunt put me out of the house, meaning now but it's not a bad thing. Now that you're working, you need to go to your space. But
Mm,
that was shocking for me,
mm,
right? Because now you're telling me to go live on my own in a strange country. But I did. And I
mm,
remember the room was this small, it
mm,
could only hold a twin bed
mm.
and a little chest of drawer,
Right.
right? And it was close to the salon that hired me. And I was getting $200 per week then.
Mm,
And I remember that my rent was $100 per week.
mm. Okay.
$100 per week. And then I had my little susu,
Mm-hmm.
$50 for my susu, left me with $50 now.
Mm,
What can $50 do?
mm, mm, mm.
And so it forces me now to be nice to every customer that comes into the salon. And my tip is what I would live off.
Oh, so that's how you maintain your smile.
My tip.
It's coming. It's coming. Okay.
So now I have to be good because I know that the only way that I can get ahead is if I'm good, right?
Mm,
And I would take my tips, and I would back then Pathmark used to sell rice for $2.99 for a 20-pound bag. And I would be going on the train with those 20-pound bags because I know Barry has to go to my mom,
mm, 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 mm,
you know? And that is how I the early beginning. And while I was there for a while, the lady, the salon owner, she would have incentives. One of the
Mm,
incentives were to get, you would get money or a gift, or usually it's monetary incentive. And every month I'm winning it. To the
mm.
point now the other girl said, they start to talk. I'm kissing the salon's butt and salon owner's butt. And yes, I was, because I know kissing butts are temporary until you can
Right,
kick them permanently.
right. Yeah, you're saying things. You're saying some things, Auntie Dana. I'm telling
Yes,
you, some
we,
terminologies
we
we use.
must we must kiss butts until we can kick them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I
Mm,
was those are the things that was always on my mind,
mm.
always.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
We talking some deep conversations here. Some people though survive America and others build a legacy in America. How intentional were you about your legacy?
Um, and as I'm going to go back again and said, I did not know what I was building. I did not know what I was doing.
Mm,
There wasn't a script for me. I did not have a vision board. It's all survival. And I
mm,
use all my survival skill every day. The one I've learned today, I will use it tomorrow, and so forth and so on. But I don't plan ahead on what I want to do
mm,
like that. So when I was at that salon, and then a family member said, "Oh, move from Brooklyn." So this was in Brooklyn, and
okay.
move from Brooklyn to the Bronx.
Mm,
And those were some tough times, DJ Quinn, because the number 2 train from the Bronx at Gunnell Road to the last stop on the number 2 train on Flatbush. And then I had
okay.
to take a cab from there to Farragut and walk 2 long blocks to 40 something street.
Mm,
So persons would see you now and don't know what you've endured.
yeah, yeah. The sacrifices you made.
Yes, and
Mm,
I had to do that both ways. And I remember this particular establishment, if we are late, $10 was coming out of our pay.
mm,
Your grace period is 5 minutes, 9:35. After that, she's taking $10 out of your pay. I could not afford to lose
mm,
$10. So I was
mm,
getting up at 5 o'clock to take that 2 hour ride to Brooklyn from the Bronx. And I did
mm,
it for a while until it changes.
mm. I heard people call you corn color, or you call yourself corn color. Where did that come from?
Okay, the corn color comes because I have nieces and nephew, right? And everyone that I know called me Auntie Donna.
Hmm.
Now, um, in 2019, a new Auntie Donna surfaced. At first, they started to call her Miss Donna.
Okay.
And my audience have been calling me Auntie Donna. My pollinators and my recipients have been calling me Auntie Donna for that long. So, my audience was saying, Auntie Donna, don't change your name. Don't change your name. You were the
Hmm.
one who was the first Auntie Donna. So if you hear everybody said she's the first Auntie Donna, she was the first Auntie Donna. And
Hmm.
I am the first Auntie Donna out here like this. And I didn't want to ruffle anybody's feather or cause any fuss or fight and said, don't use Auntie Donna because I'm doing it. I did not want to do that. And so one afternoon, a couple of my audience members, we decided that we're going to throw some names up and see which one fit me. Because in fact, I never had a nickname growing up.
Hmm.
Like I've never had a nickname. So they said, all right, since this other Auntie Donna, which is a sweet person, I know her personally, and she's dark skinned. So why don't we call you Corn Color? And they came up with some other name.
Okay.
Yes, so it was I didn't choose it. My audience members select the name and then they voted, and the one that fits me stay. So
Hmm.
Auntie Donna Corn Color is just for distinction, since
Okay.
there's also another Auntie Donna out there.
Hmm. Well, shout out to the real Auntie Donna, man. The real Auntie Donna's right there before us.
Ouch. Yes.
That's right. Sierra 365. We definitely talking about her life and the legacy she's building. But you are an entrepreneur, and I know a strong man behind a strong woman makes a difference. What
Yes.
sacrifices you think that entrepreneurship demand from your marriage and family life?
Oh Lord. Everything that you ask me is always a story. Um, because most of the time, coming up, and not growing up, coming up, I
Mm,
I've never really worked in a formal institution here in the
mm,
since I got here. It was always me owning my business, having my business. And I remember when I opened my first salon, it was such a tough time. As a matter of fact, it was right after my mom's death that I opened
mm,
my salon. And I've had my share of choosing wrong partners, choosing the wrong person. I've had my
mm.
share,
Okay.
right? But after my mom died, the Lord started to speak to me. I can feel there was a shift, and some persons were being placed in my way to guide me towards Christianity.
Mm,
I no one invited me to church. People, all you got to need to invite persons to church because we don't do that a lot,
mm,
right? And when I when the call keep getting stronger and stronger in 1999, as a matter of fact, let me go back. This is important. In 1998, I almost died. I
mm,
came, yeah, this is important. I I became so ill that feces was coming through my mouth.
mm,
I didn't know what it was. Doctor didn't know what it was. I was admitted in the hospital, and I was there, was running a temperature 103, 105. Nobody knew what was going on with this girl. Tests
mm,
wasn't proving anything. So it was getting so bad now that they rushed me straight into the OR. And I remember, I know that I was dying, DJ Quinn. I know.
mm,
But God was placing persons for me to start listening to God more and talk to Him more before
mm,
that moment happened, right? And I remember in 1998 when they wheeled me into the area for the anesthesiologist to submit to add the medicine. I started to have this conversation with God, and I said, God, this is how you're gonna take me out. I did not. I haven't done anything for you in life yet. Telling you the
mm,
prayer that I prayed.
mm,
I haven't done anything in life yet, God. Is this how you're gonna take me out? Like this DJ Queen, prior to that, I dance me say. I'd been at the dance hall. I love
mm,
music, I like the life, me, sexy body and all of them things there.
mm,
That was me. Dress up and all of those stuff. That was my lifetime. I would leave
mm,
New York, go to Jamaica for the weekend just for a party, come back and go to work.
mm,
That was my lifestyle. And I was saying to God, then God, this is how you're gonna take me out? And I had someone had given me a Bible before, and I had the Bible. And right there after I finished that thought, I heard a voice coming around the corner. And the voice said, I hear that this was in the evening that I was scheduled for surgery. And very sick. And the only thing I did when I saw the man was grab him. I
mm,
grabbed his hand and I said to him, help me.
mm,
And I remember saying, God, if you save my life, I'm going to use this moment to teach young girls. And I made a promise, I made a declaration with God
mm,
right there, DJ. I have an
mm,
agreement with God that I signed in 1998.
mm,
And let me tell you something, and I'm going to be speaking after the fact. So
Okay.
after the surgery, and when they opened me out, I have a very large scar. They thought I had cancer because
Mm.
all my intestines, the heart, the lungs, everything was black like the shirt that you're wearing.
Mm.
And then that doctor that I said help me, he said suddenly while in the room, someone noticed that whatever was on your intestine starts to come off. Tell me if
Mm.
that is not God.
Wow.
Tell me if that is not God.
Storytelling. Mm, mm,
And
mm.
they said everybody get to wiping out your intestine. That black thing that was inside, everybody get to cleaning you up and stitching you back together.
Mm.
There was another moment. That is a moment when I said, God sent that man, because hadn't he come around, they would have sewed me up back. I wouldn't be here today.
Mm.
I would not be here today. And so this was 1998. And then I broke the contract with God.
Mm.
I broke it. And he sent me back into the hospital 6 months later.
Mm.
Now, my intestines were blocked. They had to cut the blocked area out and stitch it back together.
Wow.
So that is the moment, that is the defining moment that I knew I was never going to play with God again.
Mm. Wow.
And I gave my life to God 1999, 6 months later after that. And ever since I gave my life to God, I start to see things differently, view things differently.
Mm.
And the salon that I had, I closed it down. I hear the Lord says, because everything you get it outside of Christ. Give
Mm.
up everything that you get. I'm sharing this. I don't know how you're getting me to talk this.
I'm telling you. This is storytelling. This is what we do on this platform. You're doing good.
And I remember I was in my salon, and I have a client, and I would say, her name is Joy. And I said, Joy, the Lord is saying I should close the salon and go back to Jamaica. She's an American woman. And she said, baby, you got to listen to the Lord. Remember,
Mm.
I am not a Christian. I don't know foundation, anything. She said, baby, you got to listen to the Lord. And I went to Jamaica. I closed the salon that I had here, and I went to Jamaica. Didn't know what I was going to Jamaica. My intention was to open a salon. I didn't have any children. I was just going to go down there and whatever happens.
Mm.
And this is where I met my husband.
Oh.
Ha ha!
Oh. Mm.
So he entered the picture right here.
Okay.
So the Lord would have to make me go through all of that to go to Jamaica to meet my husband.
Mm.
And I can tell you, he is the wind of DJ Quinn beneath my wings.
Mm.
Everything that you see, it's really and truly my husband propelling me forward.
Mm, mm, mm.
Major
Well,
support in everything that I do.
folks can see it in your smile, the genuineness in your smile, how much you're thinking about him. So let's talk about him for a little bit. How important has your husband, Elder Carl Stewart, been in your journey?
He is everything. Right? Yeah, Carl is everything. He is everything that I have never experienced before.
Mm.
Support. And I was an independent woman before I met my husband.
Mm.
Independent woman, I had my home before I met my husband. Amass things. So you walk with your shoulder up, right?
Because it's touche.
We still sham bossy. They call it bossy
Mm.
in Jamaica. We
Oh, see,
bossy, we
okay.
show off,
Mm. Okay.
But thank God I met him when I became a Christian. Had I
Mm.
not met him before, he probably would not be with me. But I remember what the Lord said, that I should give up everything, and meaning close the salon down and everything. and see
Mm.
what I can do for you. See what I will do for you, Donna. I'll give you back double for your trouble. I said, all
Mm.
right. If that is what you say, God, I'm going to be obedient. One thing about me, DJ Queen, is I'm obedient to the voice of God.
Yeah.
And I went to Jamaica and met my husband. And, you know, the first couple of years, like the first months, I was broken. By the time I met my husband, I was a broken woman.
Mm.
I was a broken woman. And I told him, I was honest with my husband when I met him. And I said, you will have to give me some time to be that wife because of my past relationships that I have.
Mm.
So I was a broken woman. Didn't know, nobody teach me how to be a wife. You know, my mom had 6 children at this time with probably four fathers, four
Mm.
baby fathers, something like that, or three baby fathers.
Mm.
So there wasn't much of a blueprint for me to follow.
Mm.
But one thing I know, when I met my husband, I was honest. I was honest. And if I had not been honest, I don't think we would have been here
Mm.
25 years later.
Honesty. Okay. One of the good elements of marriage. Okay. We can
Yes.
have that conversation later. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you talking some things. So, Elder Carl Stewart, very very instrumental in your journey. Very very supportive. And then you're raising two twin sons. Well, twin sons, right?
Mhm.
While pursuing your purpose. Was that easy? And how did you balance your motherhood and your ministry?
It's it. Nothing for me is easy.
Mm.
Nothing. There's nothing that I have. It's not easy. Remember I told you about that surgery, the procedure that I had.
Right.
I was never supposed to have children, DJ.
Wow.
Yep.
Miracle babies they are. These
Come
twins are.
on. I was never
Mm-mm-mm.
supposed to have children. And
Mm.
so I told my husband that the first time when I met him. I said, I don't know if I'm gonna have children because of
Mm.
this surgery that I had. And he said, oh no man, it's gonna be all right. We can adopt. We can
Mm.
adopt. He still want to marry me. I'm said, I'm a real fool, you know.
Carl, he was persistent.
He said, you want to marry me and we got now have he's a young man, you want your children.
Yeah.
You understand? And after that surgery, female would understand certain things did not happen. I,
Mm.
zero zilch. And then I married my husband. I was honest with him and I told my husband. And he said, okay, we will adopt. But the first year was okay. But then the second year, his friend starts to, when are you gonna
Mm.
have a child? When are you gonna have a child? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Wish you twins. I wish you
Yeah, no. They,
quadruplets.
they, they-
Huh.
they're like the time for to have children. You know the pressure.
Mm.
When I'm gonna say Happy Father's Day to you, man, because you're married
Mm.
now, so you're supposed to be having children.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see the look on my husband's face. And then when it comes to Mother's Day in church, I did not like it because the churches they let all the mothers go on the line,
Mm.
and the ones who are not mothers would be sitting. So everybody knows that you're married or you
Yeah.
don't have no children. It does not
No.
another. So then I
No.
started said, all right, let us consider having children, right, Carl?
Mm.
And we consulted our doctors, and remember I told you certain things wasn't happening to me as a woman. And I
Right.
remember miracle stepped in again, and I remember exactly where I was, and
Mm.
the miracle happened, and I had to call my doctor, and my doctor said, "Well, it is known." The same doctor, he said, "It is
Mm.
known that things grow back in a female." And I
Wow.
said, "Really?" He said, "Come on in."
Ooh-wee, but God.
Listen to me, DJ Quinn. The reason why I smile is my but God moment,
Mm.
you know, and and we get home and then we have conversation with the doctors and they're saying all right we could do this we could do that and I when I knew I was pregnant when I got pregnant I didn't tell anyone As a matter
Mm.
of fact, I disappeared for about 2 months um,
Mm.
off the grid. So I closed the salon down. My friends know nobody could find me because I didn't want to talk,
Mm.
right? I didn't want to talk too early. And then
Mm.
when I found out I was having twins, I said,
Mm.
boy, God, you really did say you don't give me double for me trouble, right?
Mm.
But raising my boys, it was very hard because we did not, like myself, we did not have, I did not have family and friends and support raising my boys. And the jobs that I've had along the way allow me to navigate the spaces, the salons. I was taking my children when they were babies to the salon. Once they start to grow up and they're boys and they start playing with the rollers, I realize now it's time that they're not going to be in the salon because I don't want my boys to start seeing all of these females and playing with rollers. I was not having that.
Mm.
And I had to change my schedule. I had to change my schedule to accommodate raising my children,
Wow.
right? Because we did not have that support. But Carl and I knew it was he and I all along. Whatever the way, whatever category storms that comes, it's always Carl and I. You
Mm.
know, people tell you I dubbed him as my bestie.
Carl and Donna. Carl and
Yes.
Donna.
Like
What a
Morris and
story.
Jenny.
Yeah, what a story. You know, I always ask people to come on in with your juice or your water because it's a segment I call Pour Out or Rapid
Okay.
Fire.
All right.
So this is a segue that you can drink something because you poured out a lot already. But I
Yes.
like to pour out everything I can because what I don't like to do is have two interviews.
Okay.
And so take a moment and you always have your lemonade when you're on your show.
Yes.
And I hope
And I do
I should
have
have,
it here.
yeah, you see, I got to get some of that lemonade one day. You know, I'm in New York, you know, I need to get me a bottle before I go back.
That's right.
So,
Well, the lemonade premise comes about when life gives you lemon, we make lemonade.
mm,
Life has given me so much lemon, and I'm still drinking lemonade.
mm, yeah, because it's it's good for you too. It helps to purge out mucus. It helps to clear
Yes.
up a lot of things in your body.
Hmm.
Lemonade is good. People don't know. But let's do some pouring out, shall we? This one is called pour out segment. Uh, so no performance, no pressure, just just heart answers. This mustn't be a hard answer. It must come from the heart. Is that okay, Auntie Dana?
Sure, go ahead. Sure.
Good. Donna, what pain did success never erase?
The death of your mom, a parent,
Mm. Want to expound on
or
it, or you want to?
the loss of a parent.
Okay. Are you good with that answer? Will you pour out, or you want to expound some more?
Um, because or the loss of a loved one. Because it, I wish my mom was here to see
Mm.
that even though she thought she didn't do a good job, because my mom thought she didn't do a good job raising me, I still learned from her the way she raised me.
Okay.
So I wished, and it's not only her, most of those persons who poured into my life, they're not around. So no matter how oh, whatever success I would have achieved, I still wish they were here to see.
Mm. Remember, I'm going into your heart now. I'm going deep, right?
Mm.
Was there ever a season where you smiled publicly but cried privately?
Yeah, yeah. There's there is this moment. Let's talk about that. I have been doing the Pollyanna Project nonprofit
Okay.
for 30 something years, helping children
Mm.
and family globally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just being nice, being kind, and I gathered families and friends, and we do what we did, sending children back to school. But I did not know that a reward was there or an award was there until I met Rhonda Ben from Caribbean Girls. Chris, you know,
Mission of Hope.
um,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
Rhonda said to me, you know, because something seems like it is far fetched. And I do not embody that kind of person where I do not dot my I's all the time. I do not cross my T's all the time. I did not come from a Ivy League college. I don't have a bachelor, I don't have a master's. But what I did along the way was taking subjects along the way, taking
Mm.
classes along the way, right? So it
Certification
a
programs, kind of.
certification project, yes.
Okay.
So I'm not the favorite sort of thing. Not only that, I'm sort of right in the middle because I don't embody gossip, uh, confusion. You know, those, social media will have drama. That's the word,
Mm.
drama. I don't do it. So
Mm.
I am not up there and I'm not down there. I'm right in the middle where you cannot be seen. It's like the bread,
Mm.
and what's inside of the sandwich cannot be seen, which is me. And so I've been doing all of this and not being seen, not knowing that you need to be awarded for all of these that you were doing. And then when I met Rhonda Bed Valera, she said, Auntie Donna, nobody not get an award for what you do. I just did what I'm doing for by this time 3 years, and I have the US
Mm.
the presidential award. No,
Mm.
Auntie Donna, you're supposed to be acknowledged. So that is when I realized, after
Mm.
doing what I've been doing for at that point about 28 years, 29 years, that dang, consistency, I've been doing this. And then
Mm.
I cried and wish again that my mom was here to see that her daughter received honors from the president of the United States.
Awesome. I'm glad I was able to pull that out. That
Yes.
is remarkable. Mm-mm-mm. So, thanks for that. Now, what burden do people misunderstand about strong women like you?
That we don't work. They think we don't work. They think, when we present, that this is a presentation,
Mm.
they don't think strong women cries. A lot of persons don't think that we hurt because we're strong and we seems that we can solve all the problems. They don't see the nights when are the times or the months when you are by yourself and alone.
Mm.
As a matter of fact, it's persons like me who get attacked. But
Mm.
once again, I will go back and say this to you, that I was not the person to talk about my attackers. I never give my attackers any credit.
Mm.
I've always says what you've meant for harm, the Lord is going to turn it around for good.
Mm. I'm loving this storytelling from you, Auntie Dana. I'm loving that you allow me to go deep. I don't know if anybody else have asked you these questions,
Never.
and I wouldn't apologize, but I like to go deep because you are someone that the world needs to know about. You are a pace setter, and this is what we get when we come about and have storytelling here in this platform.
Yes.
But what has God healed you from emotionally?
Huh. Just to let people and things go, let the nouns go, people, places, and things. Don't
Mm.
hold on to them. Um, don't hold on to people tightly. Just to let
Mm.
go. I
Mm.
used to hold on to people even when, I was following the Bible, forgive them 70 times 7. Um, you know, I used to hold on to people, and then
Mm.
they will constantly do it, and then the cycle begins again. The abuse
Mm.
continue, um, because they see you're a Christian and they think that they should take advantage or disadvantage of you. So I have to allow the Lord to let me let go of people
Mm.
quickly if they do not serve my purpose.
Mm. Because you're more like a people pleaser, is what I'm gathering.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
You call me Donna this, yes, I can help you.
Mm.
So these, like in the last couple of years, I've been better at it. You know, I realized that I'm not God assistant.
Mm.
if you're going through something, you go through it. There's something you gotta learn. I had to learn that. So
Mm.
I try not to. And if someone disagrees with me, and I'm making peace with that. So the peace of
Mm.
God that surpasses all understanding in everything
Mm.
is what I embody.
Okay. Listen, we are talking, we are pouring out. This is a segment that Auntie Donna is pouring out. And I don't have enough cup to receive what she's poured out. Do you all have enough to receive it? I mean, we take it for granted when we see people are doing great things. Are we embracing their story? We see the process, we see the progress, but we don't see the process sometimes. And this is what we do here on this platform. We do pour out and we do rapid fire. Have you ever battled loneliness while surrounded by people, Auntie
Of
Donna?
course. Lonely, don't leave me alone. You know the song?
Yeah,
Lonely,
man.
don't leave me alone. Why? Tell
Why?
me
Tell me
why.
why.
Lonely and never.
Sing that song, Auntie Donna.
Let me tell you something. And I have come to accept it because chosen persons like myself have to be, God has to keep us in that lonely state
Mm,
where, because I am easily distracted, God have to make sure He keeps me in a lonely place all the time. I was afraid of being in lonely spaces because I would always carry people with me,
mm,
but God freed me from that.
mm,
I remember the first time when I was on this journey of finding myself and I went to Ghana by myself. I dared myself because prior to that, if I'm going to dinner and you want to come to dinner with me and my husband and my children, you want to come to my house, come have dinner, and you want me to, you want to, I'm going, right? I was
overextending yourself. Overly. Mm,
overextending
mm,
myself.
yeah.
And I realized that that's not it. And I went on that journey. And I remember I walked on there's a beach in Accra that down there you can walk way out in the sea. It looks
Mm,
like you're walking on water, but it's not deep.
mm,
It's not water. It's the sand that is still there.
mm,
And I said, this Donna, I left that Donna down there in 2017. The Donna that was a person pleaser, the Donna that would overextend, the Donna that
mm,
would, that Donna. I said, I don't like you. I am leaving you over here in Africa.
mm.
And I came back to the United States a different. And
Wow.
the fact that I did that, it turned my entire world upside down.
Mm,
Because now I was a people person in the church, right?
mm,
Because we do that. Even if it's uncomfortable to us, we're still doing it.
mm,
And talk about the songwriting, I could tell you that. And I remember when I wrote the song Solid Prayer, and the writing of the song caused so much controversy. I could not understand because it was a good song, and
mm,
but people wanted my song. There was a time in the church when I was fighting for my own thing.
mm,
I wrote the song. People want it because the
mm,
song is so good. It's playing on the radio. People are
mm,
saying, "Oh, you should not let this person sing it," even though it's persons in the church. DJ Quinn, you shouldn't make this one could have sung it. I
mm.
came up under so much backlash.
Wow. Right in
And
Christendom.
right
Mm,
in Christendom, and that's
mm,
another story.
mm,
And I remember I said I was confused, and I looked to my husband. I said, I don't know why God gave me this, and it is causing so much confusion.
mm,
Deep, deep, deep confusion, DJ Quinn. Mashing up of church kind of confusion on my thing.
mm,
And I remember I was walking in a spot in my house, and I heard this is the first time I'm hearing God speak because I could
mm,
not understand. And He said, no man shall get glory on your lifetime.
mm.
no man, no woman will get the glory from what I'm doing.
Mm, mm,
And I yelled right away and I said, Carl, God said no man shall get the glory from what is going on.
mm,
And Carl is into the Bible. He's a man of God, you know.
mm,
And he said, well, if the Lord says so, that's how it is going to be.
mm.
And in that moment, the peace of God embodied my spirit once again.
Wow.
And I start to move silently,
Mm,
silently.
mm.
And let me tell you something, DJ Paul. The rest is history.
Wow.
The rest is history.
I think you need a drink for that one. That is a
I,
deep pour out. Yeah, I think you need.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking to Miss Donna Moore Stewart. We call her Auntie Donna affectionately. And later on, she'll tell you more about how you can reach her handles. But we in the pour out segment, and I am hoping that she don't mind me going over time because I plan to keep her for an hour. I'll be way past that time now.
that's
And,
okay. I got the time.
yeah. Okay. So let's get into it before. And some of your listeners are on your station. You want to say hello to them. Some of
Yes,
the
I
folks are
see.
on your Facebook page.
Yes, I see Shelly McDowell. She's in the UK. Is that Shelly? I see Natalie May Young out of Connecticut. I see Beverly King McKinley out of the
Mm,
Bahamas. I see Kurt out of Jamaica. You're telling my story. Marcella says, I'm telling her a story.
mm.
So I can go back up and see. So I want to say good afternoon to each and every one of you who are out of my Facebook. And I see Ruby Bernard is here out of Florida. Kirk is in
Mm.
Jamaica. I'm not seeing anybody from yours because I'm sharing it from my screen. My
Okay.
yes, so I'm not
Yeah.
seeing. So yes,
So
it's coming
I'm
on
seeing
my
Stacy. Stacy Quinton is saying she's telling every immigrant story who has big dreams for themselves. I see Jennifer Carmichael saying good night to us. Yes,
yes.
I see Marcella. I see uh, Kelly Harlequin is saying good night to us.
Ye-
And so is Diane Allen. Dion Allen. That's a male. So should I say Dion Allen? And Lynette Pierre, good night to you, my friend. We worked
Oh,
together
so Lynette
way back
Pierce.
when.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
Lynette Pierre is my good friend. We worked together in the textile industry.
wow.
Siobhan Lashley, I believe, is my cousin. Good night to you, cause you still up. Roxanne McFarland, I think she attended the church I attended there in the ATL, and Kizzy Hines, one of the person I interviewed right here on this platform. She's also an entrepreneur, and you ought to find her. She's doing great things in the community also. I need to connect the two of you, actually, because together you can make a collaborative impact. Kizzy Hines, look for her on Facebook.
Oh,
But we are talking some more pour out conversations here, Auntie Donna, and I'm glad that you got your glass with you. What keeps you humble?
knowing that it is He that serves me.
Mm,
Psalms 23. The Lord will prepare a table in the presence of my enemy.
mm,
Not focusing on the enemy, but
mm,
my emphasis is focusing on who is serving me, who is making these things happen, who is providing destiny helper, who
mm,
my emphasis is right there. That is what keeps me humble. And with each serving, I become smaller in his presence,
mm,
knowing that I cannot know. Said, so God serve me, to the enemy. I cannot
mm,
because God does not embody that kind of behavior.
mm. Auntie Donna, a lot of times we fail to remember that He prepares this table, and we want to walk away from the table. Sometimes we have a seat at the table He prepared for us in these offices, in these jobs, in the presence of our enemies. And we want to say, you know what, this is not for me. I'm going to walk away from this table. And we don't remember the scripture. And we want to recite it. Some of us got some good retainers to recite the scripture. Prepare the table before in the presence of my enemy. But then we walk away so many times. Have you walked away from your table, Auntie Donna?
Um, on the table that I walked away from did not serve me.
Mm,
Um, and so I know that God would would always prepare another table,
Okay.
because we will be sitting at table and this are in restaurants or in homes or in churches, and we said, God, prepare this place for me. But
Mm.
then we don't want the same food all the time. We don't want what is being served anymore.
Mm.
What is being served is contain me, and it's not building this kind of muscle that I have. And so we have to leave that table and find another table that maybe now is going to be serving a different kind of food
Mm.
to strengthen that other part of me.
Okay. Speaking truth right there. I'm telling you, man. This I love this pour out segment. I like storytelling, and you're good for this, you know. But you know what? We can't do this a second time because I don't know if I can go as deep as we go in now a second time. So let me ask you some of the things we started this pour out segment. What do you wish more people understand about ministry leaders and media personalities? You're a ministry leader or was, and you're a media personality. What do you wish more people would understand about you all?
That we're more alike than not.
Mm.
So this is confidence. What you see on camera, it's just confidence.
Mm.
Behind, when the cameras are off, this fancy dress takes off. I put on a t-shirt. I'm gonna sit down and step outside.
Mm. Oh.
Some
Mm-mm.
people makes it look like this is how I go to bed. This is how I look every minute. No, it's not. At least it's not for me. And I don't want to persons to have that false narrative. I don't want to give persons that false narratives,
Mm.
right? Everybody want to go for the glam, the glitter, and the gold. But but the true ministry, or the truth, is the hard work, the
Mm.
sweat, the grind, the sacrifice, the sleepless night. All of that consistently trying to be a service to others and being an extension of the hands of God.
Mm. Auntie Dana, finish your sentence with me, please, as we pour out. God carried me through what?
Everything,
Mm.
every single thing, everything. I'm trying. You see that? I talked about he that served. You see, we're forgetting he.
Mm.
Most of us as Christians, we forget he. We forget he, God. It's he who has made us, not we ourselves. We are his people. We
Mm.
are forgetting God.
Mm.
And if we remember God all the time, we will be forever grateful. We will be forever humble, and we will help each other more.
Mm. I didn't want to skip over this question because I know you can put a different twist to it in your pour out. But what does being kind truly means to you?
I'm learning that being kind is of God, and I was sort of misusing or thinking kind of nice,
Mm.
right? Um, so I'm learning now that being kind, it's of God,
Okay.
and so everything that we do, we ought to be kind to one another, to be
Mm.
good to one another. Persons respect kindness more than they respect a nice person.
Okay.
And I was nice.
Mm.
Even though I was kind, I was nice. So persons will take a disadvantage of a nice person.
Mm.
But a kind person is mindful, way,
Okay.
way more mindful
Practice
of who they
mindfulness.
are.
Okay. I see.
Mindfulness.
Okay. I'll take that. You see it. You see, if I didn't ask that question, I wouldn't get that nugget from you. Thank you so much for that. So let's talk about radio now. And you just shout out your folks there at 106.9 FM. But how did radio enter your life?
But God.
But God.
So we go back to the song. Remember that song that I told you about? We've
Mm.
got some solid, 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 solid prayer. and wrote the song. The song was doing good on the radio. This song should be a very hit song, you know. But the thing about it is when you give your gift to someone who cannot carry it, it
Mm.
won't go any further than there.
Okay.
So I got the gift, give it to someone to sing. Song is doing good, but it cannot move from there.
Mm.
And so one of the one a radio DJ from a secular world, his name is Uncle Howie Howard.
Mm.
Howie Allen. Okay, oh, we call him Uncle O.
Okay.
And he knew that I was a songwriter. He loved the song, and he wanted to interview me about how the song came about.
Mm.
So I went on his radio station into his studio, and he was interviewing me. And while I was on air, speaking on air, he said, "Hey, you fit up on radio, you know. You have a
Mm.
good radio voice, you know."
Mm.
"Huh? What are you talking about? Me?"
Not me.
Oh. And this was 2018, and he keep bothering me, coming on radio. That, and then when all hell break loose, I'm like, all right. So I call him back, finally call him back and said, all right, I am ready.
Mm.
And I was on 97.7 FIBA FM for a good little run.
Awesome. Wow.
And that's where it started. And then I segue over to religious content because now I'm a Christian and I was playing non-Christian over there as well because I love music. I'm musically inclined.
Right.
And I went over to the gospel stations and the gospel community. Over
Mm.
here, some DJ hell broke loose again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't understand the insecurities when somebody new walk into the room, sound different, look different. I don't understand why you have to forget who you are and now start focusing on the person that look different, sound different, think that. So the question was, she's coming to take away all my audience,
Mm.
right?
Well, the jealousy is everywhere, you know.
Listen to me. I tell you, I don't give my haters any credit. I've never
Mm.
given them credit. And
Mm.
I remember, you're gonna love this story. I remember I was in the community doing good on the radio, and they had awards show. And the only DJ that was left off the award is who?
Mm. Auntie Donna?
Auntie Donna.
No
The
way.
highest ratings.
Mm.
And no one, they did not want to let their community see. I
Mm.
didn't. So in the spirit, this is true. I heard them planning to get rid of me on the radio.
Mm.
And I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I remember one Saturday, my husband and I was working real estate and we went upstate New York. And I was coming back from a showing, and I reached over the Palisades right by that mall up there. And as I passed there, I hear the Lord says, "You're going to have your own radio station." So I said,
Mm.
"What? Me? Oh." And I looked over to Carl and I said, "Carl, the Lord said I'm going to have my own radio station." I'm like, "How? I don't know anything about radio."
Mm.
Let me tell you something.
You know, you knew
God,
enough to get
let
it
me
started.
that real estate deal came through, and I used that entire check to fund the entire radio. And I
Mm.
did not say it until we know we were broadcast because I
Wow.
know they were planning to take me off their dial. So now
Mm.
I have my own dial. They can't do anything,
Of course.
you know? So
Mm.
that's how Positive Radio came about.
Positive Radio 106.9 FM. Shout out to the folks over there listening to us live right now. Auntie
Yeah,
Donna's on the radio. Boop, boop, boop. That's
yeah.
right. I'm telling you, man, this is four out segment still. But why was it important for you to push positively, positivity in and kingdom values through media? Because you could have done anything else. Now you got your own stuff, you
I
know?
have been faced with everything negative. And remember, we talk about lemons. All
Mm.
of the negatives are the lemons. that was
Okay.
tossed on me, and I turn it into something positive.
Mm.
And it is important that positive, that I will keep everything positive. I must live up to the name of my radio station.
Mm.
I I
Positive vibes.
yeah,
Uh,
I must live up to the positive attitude, the encouraging.
mm.
My friends here would be disappointed if they should hear me in any drama
Mm.
publicly. So I had to ensure that I live up to the name,
Mm.
remain positive.
Auntie Dana, I got to tell you though, I got to tell you sadly that if we were talking about how your husband will treat you and all these other bad stuff, all this drama, we would have had more viewers here tonight. I'm telling
That
you.
is true.
I hope you're not discouraged when you don't see a lot of likes and loves and a lot of following because we don't talk about those things on our platform. So people take they pass by and look at it and listen for a little bit and they keep moving because we don't bring the drama here. So how you feel
And
about
I
that, Auntie?
often tell people that I'm used to that. I'm used to persons telling people don't listen to her, not because what I'm doing is not good, but
Mm,
because of something else. I'm
right.
used to person infiltrating my broadcast so that my broadcast is streamed someplace else and the number is not coming to me because there's
Mm.
software for that.
Oh,
And
really?
my community is familiar with it. Natalie will tell you, we know each
Mm.
time that the broadcast is tampered with, right?
Okay.
and and so the numbers, as opposed to having people seeing you, they interfere with the algorithm of your broadcast so
Mm-hmm.
that nobody will see it, nobody will come,
Oh, I see.
right? And that has been happening to me for years. But you know what is good, DJ Quinn? It has not stopped me,
Mm.
and it has not stopped the effectiveness of who I am.
Mm.
So I'm not influenced by numbers.
So it's not a hype, it's the impact for you.
It's the impact. You
Mm.
know, when there is still water and you take up a big stone and throw in there, you get a splash, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But if you take a pebble and throw it, toss it at the still water, what happens? Ripple
Mm.
effects. It never stops.
Yeah, yeah.
It never stops. Keeps
Mm.
going and going. And this is who I am. I'm a little pebble. You're not going to see me. I'm not big enough. But with
Mm.
so much impact.
Right.
And they've often said, I see this somewhere on Facebook. They said, if people have to gather a group of persons to come against you, you're
Yeah.
mighty.
Yeah.
You're mighty.
Mm.
You know what I
Mm.
mean? So that's that.
But you in still in this pour out segment, you once spoke about being tired of stereotypes attached to Jamaicans abroad. Explain that mission for us. What you mean by that.
I'm not sure I understand that
It's
question.
you said that once you're tired of people stereotyping Jamaicans abroad. So people in the diaspora, people say stuff about Jamaicans living here in the U.S.
Listen, I am not the person that going to defend Jamaicans. You have some bad people out there.
Mm,
You have some bad people out there. So I'm not defending them. When
mm,
I came to this country, I met my mentor. I was her hairstylist, a beautiful black woman. She, she was a nurse, and she said, "Donna, make my hair so I can represent my Jamaican people.
mm,
I go in boardrooms. I am the only black person there. Make my hair so that I'm not uncomfortable when I get
mm,
into those spaces.
mm,
And even if I have to take an entire day to get her hair the way she wants it, I would."
mm,
So, and I met her from 1990. So when she deposited that in me, I know I must represent Jamaica well. It is
mm,
my responsibility. to represent Jamaica well, to represent my race well, to represent myself well, and to represent and make my husband proud. It's my responsibility. I cannot
Mm.
speak for others.
Right, right. Well said, well said, well said. I'm trying to move along real quickly because I want you to go to bed. I don't know what you're doing in the morning, and I would need to travel. But during COVID-19, your midnight snack insomnia is a program that became very impactful. Why do you think people connected so deeply with it?
Um, yeah, it was a time when people need people. We need people and we need something that connects us. And during COVID, a lot of us gain insomnia. I
Mm,
had insomnia. I did. I didn't know what it was until I was up one night and I said, I'm loving this. And I would eat at 12 o'clock, as 12 midnight, as if it was daytime.
mm,
And I said, you know what? I'm going to have a broadcast and call it Midnight Snack Insomnia. Little did I know that thousands of people was going through the same thing.
insomnia.
And it's yes. And when we got together, it was just the most beautiful thing. It was light. It was prayerful. It was everything that everybody needed. And it was
Mm,
like a 4 hour show. We start at
wow.
12, sometimes 3, 4 o'clock, we're there, keeping
Mm,
each other company until sleep comes.
yeah. And then now people enjoy that. And now when COVID is gone, people just want a quick half an hour program, 1 hour program. When they're in crisis situation, yeah, everybody wants this good old stuff, keep them.
Yes, yes,
And now they just
yes.
need microwave kind of treatment now.
Well, we
But
have to be fair with them as well, DJ Quinn. I
mm,
mean, people have the life. They've gone back to their life. It's not COVID. In COVID, everybody was home.
right.
So I want to be fair with them. People have
Yeah, that's
grown
fair enough.
out and yeah.
Fair enough. But talk to us about this message that you have. Love is a powerful vitamin.
Well, the big man said, he says that
Mm,
we must love. And whatever he says, we must be obedient to it.
mm,
He is love. And how he loves us is like we are not deserving of it. And so I tell people I love easily until
mm,
you tell me or you showed me that you don't want me to love you,
mm.
because persons does that.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you tell me not to love you, I must respect you.
Mm. Yeah.
It's in the big book. He said that we must love. We have to love. But
Mm,
if you tell me don't love you, DJ Quinn, by the way you treat me,
mm.
I'm gonna honor that.
Yeah. Love your neighbors, you love yourself.
Come on now.
It's people think about all that other stuff, but they forget that part. That's what clean hands, pure heart, and love your neighbors, love yourself. But people can come up with all other stuff and forgetting
Yes.
that that's the simple things he's asking us to do. Well, thank you for that. But what was one unforgettable testimony from your listeners? An unforgettable testimony from your listeners?
Ah, all right. It's not even a listener, so I'm gonna share it because it just resurfaced.
Mm,
I was home. This is a testimony that I heard yesterday. I was home, and as a real estate sales agent, you don't work all the time, right? So I don't have access like that. So there are times when there's desert, and there's time when it's springtime. I
mm,
was going through a desert moment, and someone out of the blues called and said and send give me $100. Like, give me 100. No, take it. I just feel like we give you $100.
mm,
Took the $100, and by the time I got in my house, I received a call from person is famous. I said, Auntie Donna, X, Y, and Z. And I would let that person tell his portion of the story. But he said, X, Y, and Z, I need $100.
Mm.
Remember the people person. Remember, I don't have any money, I'm just get my $100, and this man I come ask me for the $100.
Mm.
And then they said, then God, you give me the $100 to give it away. And I had to be obedient because I had to be obedient to that because it wasn't mine. If the person didn't give me, I wouldn't have had it.
Right,
so now that
right.
the person give it to me, and somebody asked me, I cannot lie and said I didn't have the money,
Mm.
and I sent the money to the person. DJ Quinn, I was in a store yesterday on White Plains Road, and I saw the person,
Mm.
and he said, "You, Auntie Donna, I tell everybody about you. If you never send that $100 come give me wouldn't there with me then now. You,
Mm.
Auntie Donna, you see that $100, Auntie Donna, I love you, Auntie Donna, I love you. But you
Mm.
don't believe me, and this is a big artist.
Mm.
But I didn't know he was going through that time, right? Because
Mm.
I've had person reach out to me on these spaces and help them, and that's another story.
Mm.
And I'm like, here we go again. Somebody come to me for help. But I
Right.
have the money, I can't lie, right? Not
Mm.
knowing the impact that would make. So that
Yeah.
was like a testimony that I believe I can share.
Wow. That's awesome. You
Yeah.
see, testimony time. Testimony time. Some people say that was the testimony, but
Yeah.
it's how to bless others.
Yes.
I'm telling you, but you as an independent radio owner or broadcaster, you face some challenges. What would some of those challenges be? Very quickly.
The the challenge is being a woman.
Okay.
Being a woman among men who have their dial as well. And
Mm.
so not only being a woman, but being a married woman.
Mm.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Being
Right.
a married woman.
Mm.
So when I do face my challenge, the help is not coming.
Mm.
It could be that these men, wives are saying, don't help Auntie Donna or whatnot. But there's always a ram in the bush, and I
Mm.
learn easily.
Mm.
Everything that you see me doing on radio, I've never stepped foot in a class for it. No
Mm.
one has taken me aside and taught me. Everything is God gift talent.
Mm. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I empathize, and I hope the fellas are listening and their wives are listening, because this is the progress we're hearing about, and people trying to block the progress by holding up with the process.
Mm,
But we're going to move on because,
right.
we're going to make a collaborative impact in this world. But you are also affiliated with Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope, like you mentioned. Tell us about this important mission.
Um, like I said, I Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope. I hold this organization dear to my heart. Partnership is what it is.
Mm.
Partnership. We Pollyanna Project, Caribbean Girl Mission of Hope, two different organizations, two different setup and curriculum.
Mm.
So what we do, we partner and help each other out to make greatness, to create greatness.
Mm.
Um, I love the CEO, Rhonda Ben. I've traveled with her one awesome moment to South Africa with one of her initiatives, the Period Poverty Initiative. We traveled
Mm.
to South Africa together on that. And to see her in action, it's always good to see those persons that we're partnering with in action to know their integrity.
Mm.
And once I see the foundation, the head of the organization function this way, it was easy for me. It's easy.
Mm.
Everybody else ought to fall in line with that. So I love what Caribbean Girl Mission of Hope is doing and how they're growing in grace. And we're very supportive of each other organizations.
Awesome, awesome. But why is mentorship and hope building so critical for young girls today? And I want to touch on girls because we just talked about Caribbean Girls Mission Hope. We have men in that organization too. But let's talk about the girls. Why is mentorship and hope building so critical?
Well, it's critical because it's this is part of the mandate in the Bible as well.
Mm,
And you will hear that I always go back to the Bible, the Word of God, right?
mm,
The Bible says that we should, the older women or the more knowledgeable one, must teach those who are younger, which is girls. So we as older women, it's our job to train every young person that is coming,
mm,
mentor them,
mm.
guide them. It's not easy because let me tell you something. If nobody teaches us how to do mentorship, it's going to be hard. We're going to make a royal mess of situations.
Yeah.
But it is important that we see God in everything that we do and be
Mm,
obedient to everything that He says.
mm. Well, what social issues affecting Caribbean girls mostly concerns you the most? Our Caribbean girls, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana. What social issues you think, um, you know, is
Um,
affecting them?
we know about child abuse,
Okay.
child neglect. We focus on those because some of us have gone through those
Mm,
challenges, and helping those who are in need. I know Caribbean girls have gone into the prisons. The Pollyanna Project has not done that, but we aid them to go into the prisons.
mm,
But mainly to take care of these women, we experience these things. Men are not vocal the way women are to talk about their feelings. Not a lot of men,
mm,
right? And so, as women, as female, we ought to be mindful of the younger ones coming and see if we can help in whatever way we can.
mm. Let's talk about how can women in media become better examples for younger generations.
It's easy. Just live a good life, a truthful life, a life of
Mm,
integrity, a life that someone will see you and want to copy, want to be you, the whole you. And
mm,
that's why I don't believe in this facade of having the nice long hair just here and that's it. Take the wig off sometime.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
dirty sometime. Let them see that. Then you'll know if they're made up for, if they're cut for what you do.
Mm,
Because if they see this, I have some young girls that I thought I would mentor. And these young ladies, there are some late young ladies that let me tell you something, they're not so nice. And I remember I said I want to mentor these young girls because of what they were going through.
mm,
And they said, okay, I want to volunteer with a Pollyanna project. But let me tell you something, somewhere in there, I lost myself, DJ Quinn.
mm.
They act like they are the mentor and I'm the mentee. Right. So in everything, we have to seek God guidance.
Mm.
Because if they're not ready, if the person who your mentee is not ready, it's gonna be a race.
Yeah.
It's gonna
As you
be a
take
race.
as you take a sip, Auntie Dana, one word answers, rapid fire.
Yeah.
One word answer. Jamaica or New York?
New York.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Uh-oh. All right, let's go down. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Prayer meeting or radio show?
Radio show.
Biggest fear?
That's not the one answer.
What's your
Uh,
biggest fear? Is it the fear of
my
falling, the fear of sound, the fear of failure, the fear. One word. You can get several
yeah, yeah,
words,
yeah.
Auntie Donna.
Let me think. Let me.
Okay, I'll move
I
along
don't know. I
quickly.
don't think I have no fear.
Okay,
I
no
trust
fear.
God too much.
She's no fear. No fear. Okay,
No
no fear,
fear.
she says. No fear will take. Biggest strength. What's your
Me,
superpower?
me,
What,
just me, all of
what's
me, full me.
Auntie Dana, what's your superpower, man? What's your superpower?
Smile.
All right.
Walking in a room,
Nice.
we change the atmosphere.
Good, good. I'll take that. I'll take that. Most misunderstood thing about you.
I'm angry black woman.
You see? I glad I'm asking. Your favorite gospel artist.
Local or international?
Go on, I'll take anyone.
Okay, so the first person that came into my mind is Moses Bliss.
Moses Bliss.
Yeah,
Okay. I gotta play more of his music. Moses Bliss, you're getting a shout out.
yeah.
Moses Bliss, shout out to you from Forefront today and from 106.9. Was it 106.9 FM?
Honestly, FM, yes.
All right, cool. Shout out to you, Moses Bliss. And one thing people abuse too much,
My kindness.
your kindness. Okay, y'all stop. This is my auntie Dana. Stop abusing her kindness. One thing the world needs more of,
Good people.
good people.
World needs
Uh,
more good people.
People like who Grams Morgan sang about, people like you.
People like you. Yes.
Mm, okay. And your favorite Jamaican dish? Is it ackee and saltfish, Auntie
Ackee
Dana?
and saltfish. I just have some today too.
Oh my, did you get it right, ackee? Because I understand you have to pick it in a certain way. And is
No
it?
man, my ackee come right off my property in Jamaica and come right
Oh,
here.
you, you know which one to pick. Okay.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Most emotional moment as a mother.
I think when my child, one of my child, I have twin boys, and he told me why he was born.
Mm, why he was born.
Yes, that the Lord. He said, "Mommy, the Lord told me why I was born.
Mm,
What is His
purpose.
purpose? Yes, what is His
Mm,
purpose?
okay. Biggest lesson marriage taught you.
Patience.
Patience.
Yeah.
You had to go back in the line and buy some more, Auntie Dana?
Huh?
Did you have enough? Did you have enough?
No, no, man, we never have that.
You didn't have? Okay. Oh. What irritates you quickly?
Ignorance,
Okay. You're silent? Lies?
lies. A person who lies.
Okay.
That's a trigger for me.
Mm,
A lie. Yeah.
okay. And your silent prayer, are you about silent prayer or loud worship?
No, 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 no. I silence. It's my Jesus and I. We have this good thing going on.
Okay. Cool. Real estate or radio?
Radio,
Beauty industry or broadcasting?
beauty because of the money, but I don't do it anymore.
Okay. Ah, Auntie Dana, what makes a woman powerful?
Knowing who she is,
Okay.
accepting who she is,
Mm,
accepting who she is, what her purpose is, what
mm,
she was created for.
okay.
Yeah, nobody can touch you from that.
And if you could change one thing in the world, what would it be?
Some people's heart.
Mm,
Yeah, some
rapid,
people's heart.
rapid fire. Be in rapid fire. What legacy do you want to leave, Auntie Dana?
It would be that I served a legacy of service
Okay.
that I served. I served.
Auntie Dana, speak to an immigrant woman trying to rebuild her life.
You can do it. You can do it. You'll have to trust the He in your life.
Mm,
You will definitely have to trust Him. And you can't sit. You cannot sit. Never sit. Faith without work is dead. So you know the faith is there, but you have to do some work. You have to go. The resources are there, but you're not seeking hard
Mm.
enough. And when one door closes, another one will open, and this it goes on and go on. Be kind to persons that you meet. You never know which bridge you will cross again.
Mm.
Um, um, Never stop working. Never stop serving. Um, you can do it. You can do it, but you'll have to trust the process. You'll have to
Mm.
trust the process. Accept where you are, and don't be afraid to do whatever it is within your capability to achieve your goal.
Awesome. I hope they heard that. Auntie Donna speaks. You ought to listen. Auntie Donna, what's next for the Positive Radio?
Well, positive radio is what it is, but I love to say I can't speak much about what's next. It's there. We have the mix. I have my children program, the Global Children Program, where
Okay.
these children I've had this broadcast for the last 7, 8 years, and it is consistent. I think it's one of my highest rated show. These
Okay.
children come from Guyana, Nigeria, they are in the UK, they're in Canada, Jamaica, and of course the United States. So
Mm.
we're heading towards a break now, but the Pollyanna Project is what is moving and shaking everything. With everything that I've been doing, I've been helping and serving as well.
Mm. And so, where can people support your ministry and outreach efforts?
Okay, the Pollyanna Project is a 501c nonprofit organization licensed here in New York. Whatever donation that you will give, you it's tax deductible. Our
Mm.
website is www.pollyannaproject.org. Ways to give are always several ways to give. We also have a Jamaican account for those who are in Jamaica and want to support the Pollyanna Project. You can make donations because we have several initiatives happening. We
Mm.
just came out of a baby pop up where we gave over 70 mothers items, baby items, food, and clothing for their children. And that was the third one we did this year. And moving back a little bit, we just came out of two tour of Jamaica for Hurricane Melissa's victims.
Mm.
And we're heading into Sierra Leone in the summer to do some great things that you will see coming out soon.
And you do have a signature event every year, or two or three of them. Talk to us about those signature events.
Okay. Well, our gala, it's a fundraising gala. It is called a Heart Like Thine.
Mm.
We're going to be a Heart Like Thine for March 6th, 2027. March 6th, 2027. This is a fundraising gala. It's fundraising. So each attendance is coming to support the Pollyanna Project and their initiatives.
Mm.
And and they're always successful, and I give God all the thanks and the glory. So please support us. We at the Pollyanna, we don't know how we do what we do, but 100% of the profit that comes towards the Pollyanna Project go to all of our initiatives.
Mm.
And while I'm speaking about the Pollyanna Project, just in case my directors and volunteers are here, I just want to big them up and thank you guys for trusting me and serving others.
Mm.
And then we have the second event. We only have two events per year. And the second one is our upcoming fish fry this coming June 20. And the fish fries is another way of raising fund because we do distribute tuitions as well. We give scholarship and we support back to school initiatives in Jamaica and other places. So
Mm.
with these events, 100% of the profit goes towards the intended recipient.
Mm. Shelly Ann McCann is saying, facts, Auntie Donna. Thank you so much for those of you who are on YouTube. Someone is saying I can interview them at Wood Fire 2986. You can interview me. You can drop me uh, your links, please. 678-210-5106. 678-210-5106. And let me know, how I can spotlight you. Natalie Mayong, thank you so much for coming through. And Jennifer Carmichael. Borna James, you peeping. Lavorne, good night to you. And I'm still grateful for those who stick and stayed with us. It's a long conversation, the storytelling, and sometimes it takes a long time to bring out the story. And I'm hoping that the folks are grasping from your story tonight. The impact is what I look for, not the hype, not the likes and the loves. And so I'm hoping that folks are impacted by your story, that they can see themselves in your story, because
Absolutely.
not everybody get a chance like you to tell their story
That is true.
in a chronological way as you take, and that you can articulate your story, but many people cannot. And so I'm
Yes.
glad that you were able to retain those periods in your life that you can tell it to the world, and someone can be blessed by your story. And so
Absolutely.
I'm grateful for that. But Auntie Dana, this month is the month of fathers. This Father's Health, Men's Health, and Father's Day on the 20th, 24th, thereabout. Why should you all celebrate us this month of June?
Well, I want to celebrate my husband because he's the best baby daddy. He is a good, good, good father.
Carl
You
is a good
know,
man.
yeah, Carl is a good, good man.
Mm,
Um, as I said, I did not grow up with a father, so Father's Day meant nothing to me. But the fact that my husband is such a good father, a good husband, I have to celebrate all the good fathers, all the good fathers, including yourself.
mm. Would have said I've messed up life story, but I've made it out. Thank you for your testimony. You guys, I'm telling you, be motivated to write a book. I'm
Amen.
encouraging you to start journaling your story, man. Because not every story you need to come on YouTube and Facebook and talk about. Okay, so start
Yes.
journaling your story, because your story is valuable. And
It's
so
true.
Father's Day 24th in church. Are you going to go to church with Carl on Father's Day? Because a lot of fathers don't want to go to church Father's Day for a lot of reasons. Why do you think men don't want to go to church on Father's Day, Auntie Dana?
I don't know. Men in general don't like to go to church, and I don't know why. The wives can't get them to church, but I don't know why men don't want to go to church on Father's Day. I've never had a Father's Day that my husband is not in church, so
Okay.
I would not understand. But men in church, men going to church in general, and their wives are there. That is a whole nother story, because
Mm.
you ought to be able to get your husband so that you all can serve God together. So that's a whole other story.
Well, couples are going to church these days and driving in different cars.
Well, my husband
Uh,
and I does that. You know,
okay.
we've never drive. I don't drive with my husband. We don't because
Because
we
like
have
me, I,
different
I used to
timing.
have to go early to open up the doors and fix the
Exactly.
pews and do all that stuff.
Yes.
But people don't go together for a lot of other reasons too, Auntie Dana. So
Those talk show reasons you're talking about.
yeah, I'm giving you some conversations you can have on your talk show.
Of course,
I'd
I
like
know
to
what you're
know.
talking about.
I'd like to know why the men don't like to go to church on Father's Day. I'd love to know that, and
Wow.
why couples don't sit together, in church or drive with the same car. I heard this story from another broadcaster. She talked this story about a couple. They weren't driving together for a long time in the same car. This one day, um, they decided because one car was down, they were traveling together now, and they weren't talking to each other. So he was touring the other side, and she was driving, and they're passing through this pasture, and they saw these pigs and cows and goats and donkeys and all these things. And he said to her, family of yours? And she said, yes, my in laws. So I always like that story because you never know. I mean, she was sharp to respond, but you see how
She's
things can
sharp, man.
go?
She's sharp.
Yes.
I know what I would have said right away.
Uh oh. Auntie
I
Donna, you
can't
got a hot
say.
mouth.
I can't say it
Auntie
here.
Donna, you have a hot mouth.
Yes, stop it. One.
I gotta ask Carl. I gotta ask Carl.
I'm
Well,
witty. I'm very witty. I have an answer in a no time.
oh, goodness.
Yeah,
But that was a
yeah.
good one that I heard, and I always mention that story. So we got to be mindful, man. We got to have conversations. We got to try to, if you're going to serve in the kingdom, maintain some good attitudes, some good relationships. So we've come to the end, and I know that I kept you up long, but I know that there might be some things I didn't ask you, Auntie Donna, that you think the world need to know about you. What's your final word, your encouragement to the viewers and to the listeners tonight? Things that I might have overlooked about you that you think, coming from your heart, that people ought to know about you, corn colored Auntie Donna.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your broadcast. It means a lot, and God bless you. And some of the things that persons do not know about me, especially the things that I don't share, it's how hard I work. If you don't physically know me, you would not think that I work hard. You see the glitz and the glam, and you're not seeing the physicality behind it. As a CEO, there are days when I'm in three separate meetings. One possibly in Africa, one in Jamaica, and one here in the US. So I work so hard behind the scenes. So people need to know how hard I work. I don't think people give me credit for how hard I work. So people got to know that. And I am hilarious. I'm funny. I don't take foolishness like craps from persons. I don't have the high tolerance for that. So I remain in that secret place most of the time just so that I can maintain my peace. And most of the time I am doing that. So that's basically it. What you see out here is what you'll get. There is nothing to hide, nothing to put on, nothing to gain, because I am mindful of the he, and this he that I'm talking about is God.
Mm,
I'm mindful of him.
awesome, awesome. I was speaking here to Donna Morse Short, Auntie Donna, and to differentiate her from the other Auntie Donna, they call her corn color. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight we heard not just a success story, but a survival story wrapped in faith, purpose, resilience, kindness, and kingdom vision. Special thanks to our guests tonight, and special thanks to the folks who are, over there at Positive Radio who stuck and stayed with us, and the folks at Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope, and on my YouTube channel, CRL365, and Facebook channel. Thank you all so much for your comments and your your presence, pretty much. If I missed any one of you, please forgive me. I wanted to get all the things in, and I just overlooked a whole lot I had to ask Auntie Donna, because when we get people like this to come before us to encourage us, to inspire us, we got to take it when we can. And like I said, my platform is not about limits. It's not about the hype. It's about the impact. And as long as I'm impacting women, people
Yes.
around the world,
Thank
I
you.
look at big picture mentality, and I know your story is impactful. Remember that we build, we encourage the broken. We are kind. Kindness is our lifestyle. And Auntie
Yes.
Dan, I believe you have this gene that I have also, helping people to live their full potential. I believe you possess that gene.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. It's part of the purpose. Um,
yeah,
they have to
and
keep carrying it out. They have to continue.
that's right. And so I wanted you to speak to them, um, to the women before you get on out. I know you said a lot about. Is there anything else you want to talk to the women about? You said just now about what people ought to know about you. Is there anything you think you want to inspire a woman before
Oh,
you take
so
your leave?
before I go, so with everything, yeah, I'm glad you asked because I was thinking of something else, but I didn't know I would get the opportunity to say. Um, with everything that I've said to each and every one of you, or you've heard, some of you are like, "Whoa, I didn't know Auntie Donna go through that." Yeah, and much more. All the things that I've done. There, my favorite movie is Forrest Gump movie, and there is this. this moment in that movie that Forrest was saying all of these things and to this man. And even though I've endured abuse, whether it's physically or mentally or whatever abuse, even though I've gone to school hungry without school, even though I've been looked over and passed over for promotion on jobs, even though I've been put out, even though I've been going through all of this, and even while I'm going through that, I was helping others. And this is where Father said, because I've done all of that, it is important for you to know that I am the United States. I am a United States presidential honoree for 2022. I am the Jamaica National Era Awards of Excellence. I am a United Nation Ambassador of Peace. I am also a Queen in Teklatoka, Ghana, and I also have titles in Sierra Leone. It's not where we start, it's how we are consistent in what we do. Don't look at where you are. Continue working, continue trusting God, continue being obedient, and God will carry you
You see why I have to always listen to the inner voice? You see, nuggets dropped here. I forgot that you are a honorary. We ought to be calling you ambassador. Do you have the doctorate position also
through.
yet?
No, not the doctorate, but I
Okay.
have the I'm a diplomat, the UN travelers one.
Hmm. And you know what? I mean, let me ask you this. What is the experience like going into the UN and talking to people and presenting and being amongst people who are successful women like yourself? Give us that experience.
Listen to me. I am in awe each time I stepped into this room and I pinch myself. We didn't even get there. We pinch myself. What are you doing here, Donna? Oh,
Hmm.
we're, you know, it's amazing to be about to be among women who are helping women to achieve their full potential.
Hmm.
It's a different level of confidence that I have experienced that I've never experienced in my life. I'm stuck behind a chair for 20 something here doing people's hair. I didn't go outside.
Hmm.
And then you're stuck in your church for how many years? You didn't get a chance to speak. So, with all of these spaces, you have lost your voice. But being at the UN has given me my voice.
Hmm. Was such a pleasure talking to you. You were easy to interview, and I wish that we had, the patience of others to stay and talk to you some more. But I have to let you go because
Thank
people need to go to work and go to bed, and I hope that you guys are impacted by our story and the impact we're collaboratively making here at CRL 365 Forefront today and on the Positive Radio tonight. So until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and keep walking in purpose. Auntie Dana would say, walk good. And I forgot to ask you about your friend, my friend Rosie B.
you.
But
Oh, yes,
yeah,
we'll have
yeah,
another
yeah,
show. You can
you're
have
right.
me back whenever you
Okay,
can
well,
have me back.
well,
Yes,
thank you so much for saying you will come back
yes, I
because
will definitely. It was
I know you
listen.
guys would say, walk good.
Yes,
And I
yes,
hope everyone would walk good. We are still
absolutely.
celebrating
That's my
our,
friend.
our
Yes,
Guyanese heritage. We're still celebrating our Caribbean heritage this month of June. We're celebrating our men,
congratulations. Yes,
our fathers this month, and we are bringing some awareness to mental health and men's health. And so many awareness. I hope that we will find it. I hope that you are featuring that on your platform also because we provide a community service. And so
yes.
tonight is another opportunity that we are doing this, providing a community service. So until next time, please don't forget to like and share my platform here and find me on my Facebook
And
official
remember
page.
to subscribe, guys. Every one of you
Subscribe.
go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button. I need
Yes,
some algorithms.
yes.
I got to investigate if anybody's stealing my algorithms because I know
Ah,
I got more than 1,000 friends, but I don't see them. But But
Yeah.
thanks for letting me know about that. Maybe that's happening. But go ahead and have your nightcap, and so you don't struggle with
Thank you
insomnia
very
like
much.
way back when. And say good night to Carl for me and the boys. God bless you and all your
Absolutely.
giftings and all your
God
efforts.
bless you. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
Awesome. This is where we take our leave from Forefront today. It's been a pleasure talking to Auntie Donna. Auntie Donna definitely is a storyteller, and that's what we give you right here and on the Forefront today. Ah, what a pleasure! What a pleasure! And so I'm leaving you with a song that I made for her. I was trying to make a video, didn't have enough time to do it, but listen to her song that I made personally for Auntie Donna.
Yeah, man. Wagwan. CRLT 65. Forefront today. Positive radio. Auntie Donna in the building. On the live with DJ Quinn. Laughter and love is two powerful vitamins. Oh, yeah. Born in Kingston town where the struggle real. Mama teach me work hard and keep faith sealed. Through the storm and pain still me never kneel. God turn the broken road to a higher field. From yard to foreign me carry the light. Long days hard work still me spirit bright. Now the microphone has spread up every night. Helping wounded souls find purpose and sight. Positive praise, lift your hands today. Let the love of Jah wash the hurt away. We build up the weak, help the lost man pray. One love, one heart, let kindness stay. Positive praise, radio full of grace. From Jamaica to New York, we are on the race. Yeah. Midnight snack during COVID time. People locked down, but still we shine. Encouraging hearts through every line. Reminding the people got timing divine. Auntie Donna keep the fire blazing. Kingdom work and the youth uplifting. Caribbean girls keep rising. Purpose and destiny Jah revealing. Solid prayer carry me through. When life get rough, Jah just stay true. Rosie B and the family strong. Together we healing through every song. No matter the battle, we still hold on. Faith and love keep carrying on. Positive praise, not yours today. Let the love of Jah wash the hurt away. We build up the weak, help the last man pray. One love, one heart, let kindness stay. Positive praise, radio full of grace. From Jamaica to New York, we are on the race. Forefront today. CRL 365. DJ Queen, Auntie Donna, Gone Color, Positive Radio 106.9 FM, Laughter and love are two powerful vitamins. Jah blessings.